Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy AJ. Welcome back to Saturday Night Frights, where we all come together as a community, watch scary horror stories, say it with me now, and have a good time doing it. So, shout out to each and every one of you guys who says I remind them of Corey Kenshin. Corey Kenshin is my inspiration. He's the reason why I started, but you guys are the reason why I keep going. Man, that bar is hard. I'm not trying to copy off of him in any way. I have my own flair. He has his own flair. But yeah, so if you guys keep calling me Corey Kenshin, hey, I'll take it. Just know that I'm not trying to copy off of him, man. Speaking of Corey Kenshin, he posted yesterday, man. Y'all seen the video? Bro, when I seen it, it said he posted an hour ago, yesterday. He already had 4 million views. God dang. Shout out to Corey Kenshin, man. If you haven't watched his video when he came back, go watch it. Come out to this video, man, and we're gonna have a good time. So, now I'm not here to waste any more. Wait a minute. You think I probably forgot. Where's your snacks at? Bro, we go through this every time. Why would you click on the video without getting any snacks? Get up and go get your snacks. We're all waiting on you. Why are you still sitting down, bro? Go get up and go get your snacks. Yep, get up. Yep, there we go. Let's get it. True Nightmare Stories Volume 5 Animated.
Working the night shift always sucked. I work in an office building and would constantly do the night shifts since it was the only time it would work out for me. I was just about always the only person on the floor I worked on, possibly in the whole building. There would always be a kind of eerie feeling to being in such a big building with most of the lights out and absolutely no one around. But on the upside, it was peaceful and less stressful, and I was able to get a lot of work done. There was this one night though. It was a Friday night, around 2 in the morning. I was typing away on my keyboard when I heard a noise from outside my cubicle.
Oh.
It sounded like just a random crack from the walls or something. It's unusual in this building, but I didn't get too concerned about it. I resumed typing away and was once again interrupted by a sound. This time, the sound of a computer starting up.
You're not alone.
It caught me off guard. I was sure nobody else was working the night shift. I stood up on my chair to get a view over the cubicle walls.
Don't fall.
The glare of a computer screen in the dark was visible in a cubicle on the opposite side of the room. Then I did something stupid, something I regret. I asked if there was anybody there and
why would you do that?
hoping to get an answer from a fellow employee. But instead, I saw the glaring light of the computer monitor across the room turn off, and there was once again nothing but darkness on that side of the room.
Bruh.
I started getting nervous. I turned off the lamp and computer screen so that I wouldn't give away my position to whoever that was. I crouched down and tiptoed out across to a nearby cubicle. There was just utter silence. I sat waiting for something to happen for God knows how long, but I eventually decided the coast was clear. I tiptoed down past all the cubicles until I reached the opening near the exit door to the stairs and elevators, and that's when I realized that my fearful suspicion was true. There was a man crouched down behind a plant in the corner of the room, dressed in all black.
How'd he get in?
I felt my heart sink as I noticed him, but it didn't seem like he knew that I noticed him. I turned back to the stairway door. There was no way I was going to wait for the elevator and take a chance. I casually opened the door and closed it behind me, proceeding to walk down the stairs. After making it down about 2 flights of stairs, I heard the door above me push open aggressively, followed by manic echoing footsteps coming fast down the stairs. I raced down the stairs, running as fast as I could, all while the footsteps above me were getting louder. I finally made it to the first floor, raced through the lobby, and out the front door. Whoever was in there didn't follow me. I immediately called the cops, along with one of my bosses. My boss said no one was scheduled to work except for me.
Look at this dude, man.
The cops scanned the place from top to bottom. There was no one in there. I couldn't help them out with any description other than he was wearing all black. I did continue to do the night shift for about a week after that.
A week?
With my boss allowing me to lock all possible entrances to the floor, including the elevators.
Why didn't you been do that?
I still wasn't comfortable with it. So ever since, I've been doing the day shifts.
Man, if I catch that dude, bro, you know what I'm about to do? Yeah, exactly. Because ain't no way you about to freaking do all that. Like, bro, go home. How'd you get in here? True Home Alone Stories episode 2.
From the point of view of a 16-year-old girl. I used to have a boy living next door to me that was obsessed with me. His name was Joey, Every time I would go outside, Joey would come outside as well, as if he were watching me through his windows.
Yo, what's up with Joey, man? Like, what's going on? Like, what's really going on? Like, bro, why are you standing outside your house staring at a 16-year-old girl? Look, I don't know how old you is, but bro, either way, that's still creepy. What's going on, bro? Like, what's going on?
Waiting for me.
Do you need help?
He was 17 and very weird.
Oh, he's
He
17?
didn't seem to have any friends, as he was always home. I tried to give every sign possible that I didn't like this guy, but he wouldn't get the message. So I had to finally just tell him one day that I don't like him and to leave me alone. The look on his face that day is something that won't leave me.
You didn't like that?
It was the kind of angry look a toddler gives their parents when they can't have a toy. Coming from a 17-year-old, that's much more disturbing. One night, my parents left me to watch the house. I was working on a school project when I felt my bed shift a little bit.
What? Don't tell
I
me he's
looked
under the
my
bed. How the heck did you get under the bed?
As I saw Joey laying under my bed.
Bro.
I ran away while he tried to crawl out from under my bed. I ran to his house and rang the bell at least 10 times, telling his parents about it when they opened the door. Joey never came out of my house, so I called the police.
Bro,
his parents begged me not to, but I ignored them.
What? Yeah, ignore him.
The police found him still in my room and arrested him. Apparently, he admitted this wasn't the first time he had hid under my bed.
What?
They also found pictures of me scattered across his room. The most disturbing one was of me sleeping, and it was taken from inside my room.
Bro, like I said earlier, man, what's up with Joey? What's really going on? Like, bro, I knew, bro, this has to be something wrong with his mind, man, because, bro, come on, bro. And the parents, too, talking about, no, don't call the cops. Man, call the cops. Another true Home Alone story. A lot of Home Alone stories.
It was very common for me to be home alone at night, as I only lived with my dad, and his shifts would constantly shift from days to nights. This happened around the time my dad was doing night shifts. I would stay up really late on these nights watching movies. It's always taken me a long time to fall asleep, so after turning off the TV to go to sleep, I probably laid there for a good half hour. Then, I heard a toy fall over in my toy closet. It was nothing too suspicious, but it still creeped me out. But then, the doorknob to my closet started to wiggle, until finally unlocking the door.
Oh, get some WD-40.
Not making a sound. It was strangely quiet for a good 2 minutes, so I finally peeked my head out of the covers. There was a figure standing next to my bed, looking down at me. I screamed at the top of my lungs and began hugging the wall behind me. The figure looked out the window and then just walked away out of the room.
What?
I stayed in that position for like an hour before checking if he was really gone. The front door was left wide open, so it seemed he had left. I didn't get a minute of sleep that night.
Yo, bro, here's the real question. Out of all three of these videos, how did every last one of these people get into the building? I'm still trying to understand that. I spit all over my setup. Deep web experience, bro. Do not go on the deep web, man. Bro, unless you want to go missing, do not go on the deep web.
Really deep websites. I was in a chat room where people normally shared links to deeper websites and weird pictures and videos, commonly illegal pornography.
Bruh.
Some guy named Vintage XXX posted a link without describing what it was. I clicked on it and it took me to a black screen where a big video box eventually popped up with a play button. The video thumbnail was a dark room only lit by a TV screen. Out of curiosity, I clicked play and began to hear the sound of TV static in the background as lines of static slowly swam down the video screen. There was no seek bar in this video. Then I noticed something slowly begin to emerge from behind the wall. It was a figure dressed in all black with some kind of black mask on as well. I started to suspect it was a jump scare video, and I thought I was right when the figure leaped out and ran to the screen in less than a second. It still got me even though I was expecting it, but then it got strange.
The way he was running,
The person had their face in front of the screen, slowly moving around as if he could see me and was observing me. Then I heard a crackly, demonic voice say something. It came from the video. It repeated itself, and I could make the phrase out to be, "Ask me something." I was really confused. I tried typing something, but there was nowhere to enter text. Then he said, "No, not the keyboard. Say something."
How are you able
my
to?
heart punched the inside of my chest as he said this. I opened my mouth and mumbled the words, "You can hear me?" It responded with, "Yes."
How are you able to hear
I was
him?
uncomfortable now. I thought it was a video. I pressed
Exactly.
pause, but it didn't do anything.
Bro, burn the whole computer.
He said, "Don't try to leave. I want to talk."
Ooh, I'm about to leave,
the mouse
sucker.
to the exit button, but the mouse was frozen. In fact, none of the keys were responding on my keyboard.
Close the laptop. Close the
There was a
laptop.
long moment of silence.
Take the
before
battery
my
out.
webcam began flashing as if it were on, and my face popped up on the screen.
What?
"There, I got a picture of you now.
He hacked this computer?
Hang on while I get your address, and then we can meet."
What? Bro, this dude is a
panic,
freaking psycho.
smashing every key on the keyboard, spazzing the mouse, but it did nothing.
Bro, you doing everything wrong. You're on a laptop. If you want, bro, if you don't want to see nothing anymore, just close the laptop. That's all you have to do. Close it and freaking take out the battery. You don't have to take out the battery, but at least close it. Like, bro, come on.
I had my finger on the power button, but it also didn't do anything.
That's not gonna
The
work.
computer wouldn't turn off. The voice was saying crazy things like, "You're stuck here. I will find you. Don't even bother." I snatched the screwdriver sitting on my desk, unscrewed the 4 screws on the bottom of my laptop, and took out the battery.
You way too
The
late.
computer finally turned off. I was gasping for air as if I just ran a marathon. My heart was pounding 5 times as fast as it should have. I have since left my laptop off after that, and have resorted to using my desktop as my main computer. I'm sure by now nothing will happen. He definitely didn't have enough time to get my address.
Man, throw the whole laptop in the ocean, man. True
I
Craigslist
was
horror
looking for
story.
a car to buy for my son for his 18th birthday. I was searching all the typical car websites, cars.com, eBay Motors. They were all overpriced as expected. Craigslist was the only place to find an actual deal. About a week into my search, I found an 03 Toyota Camry. It had 67,000 miles, no accidents, no damage, and good condition for only $3,500. This seems like a steal for such a reliable car with such low mileage. The seller lived about 10 miles from me, which was a reasonable drive when looking for a car. I gave him a call to set up a time to come check it out. The man sounded normal on the phone. He assured me that there were absolutely no problems with the car.
Bro, dude looks shady, man. Look.
Normal on the phone.
Look.
He assured me that there were
Bro, look. Missing teeth, 1 gold tooth, thick mustache. You can't see the top half of his head. Yeah, that dude, bro. That dude is shady. He's about to rob you. He about to do
no
something.
problems with the car. He introduced himself as Bob.
Bob.
I brought along $3,500 in cash, even though I planned on wiggling down the price as much as possible. I pulled up the dirt road to Bob's property about 15 minutes early.
Where's the
It
car?
was a tiny little house with a decent-sized property, only because it was a bit far from the nearest neighbors. The garage was open, so I walked over to see if anybody was inside, but except for an unusual amount of car parts, it was empty. The car was nowhere in sight.
Yeah, that's
The
what
only
you
car on the
said.
property was an old pickup truck. I went over to the front door to check the house numbers. It was the right address. The doorbell button was missing, so I knocked on the front door. I knocked for exactly 5 minutes before deciding to give the man a call. So I dialed his number and I heard the sound of a cell phone ringing from inside the house. I was extremely confused at this point. Now I knew I had the right house. I didn't understand why, if he was home, why he wasn't answering. I decided I had to take a peek through one of the windows to see if anybody was inside.
Why would you want to do that?
Peering through the glass, I couldn't really see much as it was pretty dark inside the house. I saw a very old-fashioned dining room set, but across from that, I saw somebody standing at the back door of the house, staring outside. I figured that must have been Bob, so I knocked on the window, but he didn't even move. There was no gate or anything to the backyard. It was just a wide open yard since this wasn't a rural area. I simply walked around the house to the backyard. I didn't understand how he couldn't hear me. When I got to the back door, I made a shocking realization. The figure standing by the door was a taxidermied human being.
Bro, look how tall that thing is.
I ran straight back the way I came and back to my car. I looked up one last time before driving off. The blinds to the window I had peeked into had been shut, but I could see two of the blinds bent open. Somebody was at that window watching me.
Bro.
You can probably guess I had the gas pedal to the floor the whole way home.
Freaking weirdo.
The whole situation still makes no sense. All the car parts, the fact that there was no Toyota Camry, the taxidermied human being, the fact that there was no car there leads me to believe that
who's gonna be next?
Whoever that man wasn't planning on selling me anything. And that also leads to the disturbing thought that I was very close to becoming a lifeless statue staring out that man's back door.
Exactly. Glad you got up out of there, man. Like, first, if I pulled up to a house they tell me to go to, if I don't see the car, I'm going home. Like, bro, I didn't see the car off rip. I'm automatically going home. Disturbing Vacation Story 3. I wonder what happened to 1 and 2.
It was a summer ago. My family and I had gone to a cabin that most would use for a winter vacation, but my family wasn't like that. The cabin was located in the middle of the forest. There was no cell phone service, so as you can imagine, I was pissed. My mom always complained to me about being isolated and confined to the comforts of my phone. I always found solace in my phone, since being around people made me feel irrational and just plain weird. My parents never understood that. Anyway, my little sister is 6 years old and was playing around in the forest. She had gone a bit too far out of my sight, and I started to get a little worried. I called out her name but got no response. I then went in the direction that she did and found nothing but a bloodied bow. My eyes widened as I frantically ran around looking for her. I found a blood trail that led into the deeper parts of the forest. I hesitated, but nothing was going to stop me from saving my sister. I followed the trail for as far as it went. After about an hour, the blood stopped at a hole.
You're walking directly on top of it?
I debated whether I should go back and tell my parents, but I didn't think they'd believe me, even if I did say that my sister was missing. There's no denying my parents thought I was insane. Despite my fear, I jumped into the hole.
What?
I fell for what felt like forever.
Bro.
Then, I finally hit water. My face morphed into disgust as I stumbled through what I thought was a sewer, since there was no light. I looked up out of the hole and saw a tiny white dot.
Bro, how are you gonna get back up now? You jumped, look like for miles down. Now you gotta like, bro, there's no way you're getting back up.
Started to walk around. There was crunching under my feet. I paid no attention to it since I thought it was some dead leaves or sticks that had fallen into the sewer. That was until I fell. Some unknown liquid had splashed all over me. I remembered that my phone was in my back pocket, and I pulled it out and shined it on myself. Time seemed to slow down as I realized what I was walking.
Is that blood?
It was a river of fresh blood.
How?
The blood had absolutely soaked me. I held in a scream as to not alert any nearby creatures. I then ran through the connection of tunnels and refused to stop until I started hearing footsteps behind me. I stopped, turned around, and shined my flashlight around. The light from my phone landed on a distant figure. It looked so small, so maybe it was a dog or an alligator that had sneaked in. I stupidly started to move towards it.
Why
As I
would you
got
do
closer, the figure started to get clearer. I started to see that it wasn't a dog or an alligator. As soon as I realized this, I stopped in my tracks and stared. It looked like me. Its
What?
body was contorted. Their back faced towards the ground, and its head was turned right side up and faced towards me. Its legs were normal, but its arms were legs as well. It had
Really?
jagged teeth, and it was chewing on what was left of my sister's head.
What?
I saw my parents' head beside it. I stepped back in shock and fear. The mutant of myself charged towards me. In a state of panic, I tried to run away, but I slipped. I hit my head on the rock.
Ah.
Passed out.
That took a wild turn. Took a crazy turn. Yo. I'm so lost. Like, was that a dream? Was he like deleting everybody in real? I don't know. That took a wild turn. Creepy neighbor horror story. We all got that one creepy neighbor.
This happened in 2009. We would fly from our home state in California to Minnesota to visit my father's family for the summer. I've always enjoyed it there because of the nature and peaceful atmosphere. My father's family lived far from the nearest town, and he only had 2 neighbors. My only friend there was a girl who lived next door. Let's call her Morgan. She's
Okay.
around my age, and me, my sister, and her would always play from sunrise to sunset. One day at around 4 p.m., we
Badminton?
were outside playing badminton. My sister hit the birdie too
Dang.
hard, and it landed in the next door neighbor's yard. Morgan said she had more inside her house and went to get them. I felt uncomfortable leaving it there, so I told my sister I'll go get it myself. She told me not to do it and just wait for Morgan. While my sister was fixing the net, I decided to run and get it real quick. As I
Bro,
was about to
she
enter
gave
the
you a
gate,
sign.
my sister
Then I get
grabbed
it.
me from behind and began telling me how much of a bad idea it was. That's when an old man came out from behind the house. He picked up the birdie and said, "Is this yours?"
Oh.
I said yes and asked if I could have it back. He said he had his grandchildren's old toys upstairs and asked if we wanted to have them. Me and
No.
my sister were very young at the time, and we thought as he lived so close and he looked like a typical sweet grandfather, what's the worst
You
that
think that dude looks sweet, man? Bro, nah. He does not look any... Bro.
could happen? So we agreed and entered through the back door. The first thing I noticed was the stench. It smelled of damp and rotting food. I shrugged
looked
it off
bad
at
in
the
there.
time since he was old. Maybe he lived alone. We heard Morgan calling our names, and we politely told the old man that we had to go and maybe we'd return tomorrow. Morgan saw us through the window and immediately asked what we were doing there. I answered, "The sweet old man," and she cut me off and said that the house was abandoned since she moved there. I thought she was just playing around with me and
Bro.
told me to cut it out. She had a blank expression, and that's when I knew that she was serious. We never told anyone because we didn't want to cause any trouble. But now that I'm older, I wonder if it was some ghost or creepy old man luring kids into that house. The house got demolished recently,
Good.
which is why I wanted to share this story.
Bro, that dude, bro. Come on, man. Like, bro. He had 2 signs. The first time your sister said, "Do not go and get it," but y'all still went anyways. The second time, she was like, "It's abandoned." You didn't believe her at first, and then all of a sudden now you believe her. Bro, come on, you gotta go better than that, man. But alright, y'all, I'm gonna end it off right there, y'all. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. Please smack the like button, subscribe today to join the AA, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.